and welcome to Mistake Week in GTA Online. So, another set of offer cars have just dropped in this week's GTA Online weekly update, and we're going to start with mistake number 1, which is the Yuga Classic Custom. So the reason this is a mistake is because as soon as I saw this was on offer, so it's actually the Bennys upgrade that's on offer, not the car, I thought, I remember I've got one of those sitting in my arcade. I'll go and grab that and I'll stick the upgrade on there. But apparently not so, because I had the wrong Yuga. But because I'd already set my mind on building a mystery machine, I decided it was worth it. So I went off and bought the Yuga for 400,000 and then stuck it in my movie car garage, which is exactly where the mystery machine would belong. For those of you that don't already know, if you have the garage in your office, you can actually apply Bennys upgrades from there, which is really, really useful. So I'll pop the Yuga Classic upgrade on there and start customizing this thing up like the mystery machine. So just get a nice set of bumpers. It's relatively plain. Let's just get it roughly there or thereabouts, and then just pop the livery on and we're done. Except it turns out I was today years old when I found out that you can't apply that particular livery after you do the Yuga Classic upgrade. You can only do that to the standard Yuga, and I'm not buying another one for reasons that will become obvious.
This is the worst thing in the world.
So plan B, I know, it's a creepy ass van. Let's make Francis Dollarhide's creepy ass van from Manhunter. And you know what, I actually think it looks the part as that. So that's the first half of the mistakes around this car. Let's get on to my second set of mistakes as we start our lap. So here we go. So I've had to go back to the old way of doing this because it turns out I can't use the vans category in my race. I don't know whether that's the way I've set it up or whether you can't use that in general. And off we go, and look at this speed. Wow, isn't it amazing? No, it's not. I'm going to give a bit of a clue to my review of this van. This is awful. This might actually be the worst car I've ever bought. I mean, yes, it looks the part as his creepy ass van, but my god, it's rubbish. I mean, look at it. It has all the style and poise as one of our EDL rioters. Oh, let's have a look at that again in slow motion. So what exactly is wrong with this thing? Well, this has maximum upgrades and it's just slow as hell. It's ridiculous. It has no power. You saw it bogged right down. You're going to see here it really struggles to get up this hill. Can't even call it a mountain at this stage. It's just a slight lump in the road. Now you throw into that the fact that this is really high. Even with the suspension not all the way up, it's still really high, but it's just ridiculously top heavy. It's so awful to control. I mean, I've got to say, so far this thing has no redeeming features whatsoever. So let's see if we ever do make it up here, and it should pop over that fence. But apparently not. Even though it's really high and really unstable, it's still not high enough to do what a lot of the 4x4s do and jump straight over that fence. So shall we see if it can redeem itself on the road section? And it's not looking good so far. It's still top heavy. The handling's fairly predictable, you know, it's not awful, I suppose, but you really wouldn't describe it as good. But one thing that lets it down is how slow it is and how top heavy. I mean, I suppose I shouldn't be complaining because realistically, yes, a van like this in real life probably should be quite top heavy. And I'm going to run out of things to say pretty quickly in this lap. Now, because I'm doing it the old-fashioned way, I won't get the time until I do the edit. But I think you can safely say this ain't going to be troubling those at the top of the leaderboard for the across the map race. So as we come around here, let's see how it handles the drop down to the next level. Well, do you know, that could have been worse. That could have been worse. It got a bit tied up, but let's get around this last bit. So what do I think of this? So it's on offer. The van itself isn't on offer, so that's just a standard 400,000. It's just a touch under 400,000, 395 I think. The upgrade is on offer, and it is a decent offer. And do you know what? It looks kind of cool. I will give it that. It does make a really decent replica of Francis Dollarhide's creepy ass van. But that is the only thing it's good at. In terms of driving on road, awful. Off road, awful. Handling, awful. Stability, awful. I mean, top marks on gymnastic ability. But yeah, again, this is another car that you buy because you want it. Or because you want to have it or display it, not because you want to do anything with it. It's just dreadful. And you know what, I'm just going to reverse over the line in this one. And here's the time it managed to do. And here's where it sits on the lap board. And when I come to do the edit, if this isn't sitting right at the bottom of the lap board, I will be amazed. So what do I think on this one? Honestly, unless you really want this vehicle, this is definitely one to miss. And if you want it because you want to do a mystery machine replica, then this isn't the week to buy it either, because it isn't the van that's on offer this week. It's actually the Bennys upgrade. And the Bennys upgrade means you can't apply that livery and you don't get your mystery machine. Not that I'm bitter.
No, I'm not.
So thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.